Hey everyone, Wyduck here again, this time with Game 2 of a best of 3 from the 4th round of the losers bracket from the recent DreamHack Winter 2013 edition. And this time on Whirlwind, we've got spawning in the bottom left as the Red Terran, and the victor of Game 1, representing Team Acer, and from South Korea, we've got Innovation. And Innovation was really crafty in the previous game, able to defeat his Protoss opponent, spawning in the bottom right as the blue Protoss, representing Team Evil Geniuses. Also from South Korea, we've got JYP. And JYP is going to have to do something special here, I think, to defeat Innovation. Innovation took Game 1 handedly in about 12 minutes, 12 and a half or 13 minutes or so. And I think it really started when Innovation was able to get that Lone Reaper into JYP's base and was able to pick off 3 probes, and then was able to scout with that Reaper later on and see that Stargate warping in some oracles, and from that point on it just seems like it was Innovation's game to lose, and he played really well throughout the entire game, and he was just really ahead, able to build a 15-20 supply advantage. He went in for the kill and was able to do so. Now it looks like JYP is going to counter this game. He's going to actually be scouting early once again. In the previous game, he did the same thing. He's already plopped down that gateway, and he is going to be moving with that probe, trying to find out where Innovation has spawned. Now, Whirlwind is a 4-player map, and it's a 1 out of 3 chance, but it looks like he will be very lucky. He'll be able to guess the positioning immediately. And actually, because of that, it might actually change Innovation. No, Innovation is going to go for the CC on the low ground. So this is very interesting play by Innovation. A little risky, because now JYP has been able to see it. Great scouting, or at least he was lucky. Either way, it looks like it's going JYP's way, at least early on in this matchup. Now, Innovation is going to be opening up with the barracks behind that command center. And it looks like we do have 3 additional probes rushing off from that mineral line from JYP's base. And it looks like he will be going to this command center with a Zealot as well in tow. The Zealot is a little bit behind, but he is rushing towards Innovation's base. So this game might be very quick if Innovation is not able to deflect this attack. Now, the probes are working on that SCV. That SCV is not going to be able to finish that command center. It's not going to survive either. So, great move by JYP, and now that command center is under heavy duress. These 4 probes are going to town. We've got lots of SCVs pulled off the line from Innovation as well. I think he's getting ready for an incoming attack. The SCVs are trying to deal with the 4 probes here, but now we do have that lone Zealot there. The bunker is canceled immediately. And this SCV is left in no man's land. Is he going to be able to finish that command center? I don't think so. Oh, it's able to scoot away one more shot. Yes, it is destroyed. That command center is almost finished. It's got 4 seconds left on it, but now there is a second Zealot on the way. And behind this, JYP has his own Nexus coming in, as well as an Assimilator. And now the Zealots are going to town. It looks like this command center will finally finish. It will have to lift off, and now this is going to be a dicey situation for Innovation. He doesn't have any bunkers here, but he does have the high ground advantage. But Innovation realizes there are 2 Zealots here. 2 Zealots can eat up 3 Marines quite easily. And so the SCVs are going to be pulled off the line once again to try to provide a buffer wall between the Marines and the Zealots. And the Zealots are going to have to run away, at least for the time being. So JYP very aggressive, detecting that low ground CC first and just going for it, pulling probes off the line, moving in Zealots as quickly as he could. And now it looks like this game is very even. Now if we take out the resources lost tab, obviously Innovation has lost quite a bit more, and he's really lost that sort of economic advantage he was going for, as JYP's Nexus is already up and running. He has probes mining. Innovation has his second orbital command plopped down just now, so he will be able to mine very quickly from this orbital command. But obviously the economic advantage that Innovation was hunting for has been foiled, at least temporarily. So very entertaining strategies in this second game of this best of 3 series. Looks like we do have a third barracks coming up for Innovation. And interesting, he doesn't have a reactor or tech lab, so he's just going to be going with very slow, low life Marines, and he's going to be rushing into JYP's base. Now the Stalker is trying to cut away, but that is a lot of Marines, and I'm not sure if JYP's going to be able to deal with this. He should be able to, but the Zealots are being cut away quite well. This Vespine, guys, is also providing a little bit of a wall, so the Marines can't get surrounded, and using the minerals as a buffer as well. Innovation using the terrain very well to his advantage, and now he's able to scare away all the probes, able to eat away those 2 Zealots as well. We've got the Marines charging up that ramp, but I think the rest of the attack force is going to get cleaned up here quite quickly. The Stalkers are microing quite well by JYP. He's not even going to lose one of the Stalkers here. This Hero Stalker has 6 Marine kills. So great move. Now we do have a scan going down by Innovation, able to see the Dark Shrine and the Twilight Council, as well as that 3rd gateway. So it looks like the surprise command center wasn't going to work for Innovation, but now that Dark Shrine is not going to work for JYP also. And he's not going to cancel it, looks like. He is going to be committing to that Dark Shrine, but he is going to be building a robotics facility behind it, so I think the Dark Templar attack is not going to work. But just in case, Innovation is going to put down a missile turret wisely behind that bunker, protecting that natural. I think that's a very smart move. Now, these 3 Stalkers have to be very careful here. JYP almost loses a Stalker down to 12 life, but it's able to skedaddle away just at the last moment. We do have Stimpack on the way, as well as a factory is being finished up here. We have +1 weapons coming up for our Terran player. Now, we have double forges being warped in by JYP, but it looks like the Terran player is going to have the slight upgrade advantage until those forges actually get to work. So it will be up to Innovation to see whether or not we're going to see some sort of timing attack when he gets +1 weapons and stim. And that would be a great time to attack, because after that, the double forges, especially with Chrono Boost, are really going to put a dent in Innovation's ability to win the upgrade game. But JYP does have a few secrets of his own. He does have a pylon here, a forward pylon. He can warp in a few units here, but it looks like it has been detected. A lone Dark Templar has been warped in, and that torso gets chopped off immediately. So 1 kill for that Dark Templar, and no scans going down. There we go, but this Dark Templar is going to be able to scoot away. So 1 wasted scan, so that is very unfortunate for Innovation. Great for JYP, as that Dark Templar is going to be able to slice up a few more torsos before he's finished. Now, we do have that 3rd command center being set up by Innovation at the 9 o'clock position, but at the same time, we do have a lone probe by JYP in the top right position, so might be some sort of plan for a secret 3rd nexus. And on 4-player maps, especially in one-on-one matchups, it can be very effective to set up some secret nexuses, or nexi. So we'll have to see if that does come into play. We do have a pylon getting set up here. At the same time, we do have a Warp Prism, able to see the 2 boosting medevacs. So secrets have been foiled for both players. Who's going to take advantage of it? It looks like JYP is going to retreat back to his base, possibly. But Innovation is going to forge forward. He does have the boosting medevacs. They're both almost entirely filled. This one is missing 1 spot. We've got quite a bit of supply here, and even though JYP detected, he didn't really move the units into position, and now that Twilight Council is under attack, the Zealots are charging in there. Unfortunately, 1 Zealot does get destroyed, a Marine does get picked off, so not a lot of damage has been done by Innovation. JYP has been able to thwart that drop, but at the same time, this Warp Prism has been detected by that floating factory, so once again, this Warp Prism is going to have to decide what it wants to do. And it looks like it might be time to retreat. So very interesting. Both players electing to try to do a drop, but not really able to do so. Now we do have 1-1 upgrades for JYP. So Innovation is actually behind in upgrades currently. We also do have Colossi coming out, as well as Thermal Lance. But Innovation is going to commit to this. JYP is out of position. His entire army is in front of the ramp. That is natural, and it looks like the Twilight Council is going to fall. We've got so many Marines here. It's not going to be able to survive. Blink does not finish. Will the Dark Shrine be next? No, it's going to be the Robotics Bay, possibly. No, the Dark Shrine is being focused down, so half the units are firing down on the Zealots. It looks like The Terran Armada is focusing down on the Protoss Army. The Protoss Army is melting. JYP is down by 20 supply. Now he does have a Colossi here, able to do significant damage, getting 1 kill. And that's going to be able to scare away that Terran Army, at least temporarily. But JYP is down by 20 supply. He is behind by 700 resources. Now, we do have that third base up for Innovation, and we do have a secret third base for JYP. But unfortunately, right now, it looks like he's going to be under attack constantly as Innovation is on JYP's side of the map. And it doesn't look like this Warp Prism has been able to do very much either. And now that Proxy Pylon has been destroyed as well. So things are not looking good for JYP. Once the Thermal Lance is finished, yes, it is finished, these Colossi should be able to do significantly more damage. As Innovation is going to be trying to chase down this Warp Prism. Unfortunately, the Warp Prism is very fast, and it looks like that Dark Templar is not going to survive either. So the Warp Prism is going to be able to get away, at least for now. And JYP is also setting up a 4th base. Interesting. JYP is going to try and economically beat Innovation. Now, JYP is down by 36 supply compared to his Terran player. And I think Innovation, if he moves in for an attack, he might be able to outright win this match. Or at least cripple JYP. And then the next incoming attack should be able to secure him the victory. Now, the advantage for upgrades does go for JYP. He has 2 attack and 1 armor, and Innovation only has 1-1. Now, the scan does go down. The Vikings are going in, focusing down on those Colossus. The Zealots are melting away. There's not that many sentries either. The Nexus is canceled. Now, we do have a whole bunch of Zealots being warped in here, but is that going to be enough? All the supplies are dropping for JYP. He's down by 50 supply. All the Colossi are being destroyed, and it looks like JYP is going to tap out. So Innovation able to win game 2 handedly once again. This time was a little bit different. Instead of the Reaper harass kind of giving him the economic advantage, especially in regards to probes, it looked like initially JYP might be able to do quite a bit of damage because he was able to detect that 14cc on the low ground, very risky play, and was able to prevent the SCVs from finishing it, pulling off probes, pulling in Zealots to deal with that command center. The command center did finish, but it really delayed the economy of Innovation. But Innovation, just with the constant building of units and just plopping down the units where the Twilight Council was at the right time, able to do significant damage, and then able just to not give JYP any breathing space. I think if the game went on for another 10 minutes or so, I think JYP would have been in a very good position. He was mining from his 4th base, or his 3rd base, excuse me, from his Ninja expansion. Unfortunately, Innovation was able to do a lot of damage to JYP. JYP's army was just not big enough at any point in the game, and he was always kind of playing on his own side of the map. So Innovation takes game 2 handedly. So he takes this series 2-0, and he will move on to the 5th round of the losers bracket. So that was a really fun set of games, and we'll have to see what happens in the next round. Hope to see you guys there.